join the Catholic faithfuls in condoling with the world and the faithfuls, because like Karen and Mheshimiwa Sosion have said, Pope Francis was a very humble, down-to-earth Pope. In fact, I think from the time I started following the history of the other popes, to me this appears like he was the most humble, he was down to earth and all that. Otherwise, going to your question on whether we foresee a situation whereby we will have an African Pope, I think I would be honest and say that is just a wishful thinking, because if we start thinking of Pope in terms of continents, then already we have ruled out someone from Africa becoming a Pope, because even in terms of numbers, going by the number of those cardinals and the ones that come from Africa, I do not think we can rely on geographical regions, especially just say Africa, to produce a Pope. However, we have to agree that the way Catholics have been choosing their Pope is one of the best methods. It's very orderly, it's very democratic, it's very open, and there's a lot of consensus also that goes on. So I believe even this time they will not disappoint, and whoever will be elected, because all of them, all those who will front themselves for this position will be qualified. Therefore, whoever will be picked will be the Pope for all the Catholics, and we will accept the verdict, as the people of Kenya like saying. Otherwise, we continue mourning this Pope who has just left, because if you look at his track record, even from his will, which he wrote before he died, even the way he has expressed where he wants to be buried, the way he wants to be buried, the expenses that will be involved, you can see even in death, he's still very humble. And I think it's a lesson that all leaders, especially African leaders, can learn from the late Pope Francis, especially in terms of humility, especially when you are using public resources. You can see he's the first Pope after a very long time not to be buried in Vatican. And I think those are lessons that we can borrow from the late Pope Francis.
Mwalimu Sosion, when it comes to education, of course, the Catholic Church operates thousands of schools, not just in Kenya, but in Africa, and also health or medical centers as well. That's the kind of influence they already